Hello everyone, welcome back to Tina Teach IELTS Grammar. Today's with adverbs, a little and little, okay? Let's continue with the lesson. The use cases of a little. Number one, it can be used with verbs. It rained a little during the night. It rained a little during the night. Number two, with quote-unquote unfavorable adjectives and adverbs. A little anxious, a little impatiently, a little annoyed, a little frustrated, a little precious, so on and so forth. Number three, little could also be used with comparative adjectives or adverbs, such as the paper should be a little thicker, or the paper should be a little denser. The paper should be a little softer, okay? Rather could actually replace a little, and it can also be used before comparatives. However, a little is more common, okay? Examples of replacing a little with rather could be rather anxious, rather impatiently, rather annoyed. The paper is rather thin. The paper is rather thick. Okay? Now, let's move on to the next part in colloquial English. And if you're not familiar with the term colloquial, it means informal English. Okay? In informal English, people would use a bit instead of a little. But nowadays, a bit is, I would say, it's very common with a little, and it's not just restrictive to informal English, okay? You could say to your boss, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a bit late," okay? It would have the same effect as saying, "I'm sorry, I'm a little late," all right? But if you want to, if you want to be grammatically correct and you want to be super technical about it, then a bit is informal. Another case is that little can be used chiefly with better or more for formal English, okay? For example, his second suggestion was a little better than his first. His second suggestion was a little better than his first. He was little more than a child when his father died. He was little more than a child when his father died. Okay? Let's move on to informal English. Little can be placed after certain verbs, such as expect, know, suspect, and think. He knows little of the misfortune that she went through. He knows little of the misfortune that she went through. He thought little of the man before him. He thought little of the man before him. Okay, now let's recap real quick what we've just learned. A little can be used with a verb. It rained a little. With unfavorable adjectives and adverbs, a little anxious, a little negative, a little annoying, for example. And it can also be used with comparative adjectives or adverbs. The paper should be a little thicker. The paper should be a little denser. And rather could actually replace a little. So a little anxious becomes rather anxious, rather annoyed, rather frustrated. Now, in colloquial English, a bit could replace a little, okay? But this is not so strict. For example, instead of saying, "I'm sorry I'm late," I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, you could say, "I'm sorry I'm a bit late," okay? Another case for little is that it can be used with better or more. In formal English, of course. His second suggestion was a little better. He was little more than a child. Now, continuing with formal English, little can be placed after certain verbs, such as expect, know, suspect, and think. He knows little of the misfortune. He thought little of the man before him. Okay, that's it for today's lesson. I hope that you enjoy and you understand all of that grammar. Now, next topic is going to be about the or the definite article. Okay, so remember to tune in, like and subscribe, comment anything that you curious about or not sure. Learn today, better tomorrow, and have a wonderful day.